day in and day out.
Mike, last year your coach talked about having dreams and expectations so large that people may laugh. And, I think that kind of is part of his enthusiasm unknown to mankind mantra. So after the disappointment of last year, do you guys still come in with those sky-high expectations that, want to win the Big Ten and make it into the playoff?
Of course, that's our main goal is to win the Big Ten championship. And we can't think about a national championship until you win the Big Ten championship. So that's our main goal, and the expectation will never be lower than that.
Mike, you got a lot of young guys on the team. Some of them are going to see a lot of time this year. You mentioned finishing games, especially at the end of last year. How do you teach those young guys who might not necessarily have the game experience like you do? How do you teach them to finish games? Is that something that is just something that's learned by example, especially you as a senior leader, or is that just is it something that you can teach them verbally, or is it something that you just have to do?
It's not something you can teach verbally. You can say we got to finish, things like that, but in practice, at the end of practice, finish practice strongly. That's really how you build that up, and then learning from last year, you see that we didn't finish, so don't let it happen again.
With replacing every single starter in the secondary, does that place more onus on you as a linebacker to make calls, set up a defense?
Not really. They know what they're doing. They know exactly what to do. If they make a wrong call, we can correct it or just go with it and adjust afterwards. And then, but I'm confident in our defensive backfield. They know what they're doing.
How critical is Tyree to that, because he is an experienced guy in that defensive backfield?
He's going to have to be that leader back there because he has played a lot. He played a lot last year, and he knows the whole defense. He knows where he needs to be. He knows where all the other defensive backs need to be. So he's going to play a big role for the secondary.
How much would it mean to you to potentially be named a captain this year?
It'll mean a lot. It's kind of crazy to think about. Because my dad became a captain when he was playing his 5th year. He was a senior, and then if I did the same thing, it'd be an honor to not only be a captain but to represent the University of Michigan, one of the greatest schools ever. And if I don't, I won't be mad about it. But if I did, I would be happy.
Are you lobbying for votes?
I'm not lobbying for votes. I'll let them vote for who they want to vote for.
So your dad is obviously all Michigan now, right? I mean, he's an Ohio State guy. Does he have any Ohio State gear left?
I haven't seen any. Maybe his bowl rings that he has, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Mike, how the schedule is stacked up, you guys really only opened at home 1 week in the last 3 years. What's the anticipation factor like for you guys to get to play a top-notch opponent in Florida and open in a stadium like Jerry World?
It's a great opportunity for us, not only to go on to Jerry's World, but to play Florida as well, because it's a great team. And if we win that game, it'll set the tone for the rest of our season. And we can't take for granted playing Jerry's World because you might not ever get to play there ever again.
How much have you seen out of the trio of freshman linebackers, Josh Ross, Drew Singleton, Jordan Anthony?
Not much, they coming in trying to get acclimated to the university and get adjusted to school a little bit more. And we'll see once camp starts to see how they do. But I feel like they'll come in ready to play. And I've kind of watched some high school highlight tapes on them, so they'll probably be. I think they'll be fine.
What about some of the early enrolled guys, the guys that have been there for a little while, those true freshmen that are definitely playing, vying for playing time?
Oh yeah, they're all going to be really good. They're all athletes, they're fast. Like Caesar, he's a big lineman. He's pretty good, and you can see the 2 receivers, Tariq and Donovan, play a lot this year. Probably, they're really good. Pretty much everybody that enrolled early is pretty good, and they probably will be on the field this year.
Mike, what have the discussions been? I don't know if you've been asked this yet. What have the discussions been like between you, Devin, Josh, Kalik, Devin Gill, all those guys? I mean, you're essentially kind of leaving a blueprint for them to follow, I guess, after you leave. What have those discussions been like?
We haven't really talked about when I leave. We don't want to talk about that yet. And then, I see them work, they see me work, and when I do leave, they know how to handle everything, and they're mature enough, and they'll be really good. They are really good now, but they'll be really good in a year or 2 from now. So that's really all I got for them.
When you compare just the progress, I mean, I know you guys are not in camp yet, but going into camp last year, just progress-wise, does it feel Does it feel more like it's building, or does it feel more like it's sustaining?
I feel like it's a little bit of both, because you have to, you got to build that trust on the field, because it's 10 new people out there starting together, and we haven't played an actual game all together, and I feel like it's still building, but at the same time it's sustaining, because we all know what to do. We got the same defense, so there's no reason that we shouldn't know what to do, and so it's a little bit of both.
Early impressions of the freshman linebackers?
The new freshmen?
Yeah.
I really haven't seen them yet.
Okay.
Once camp starts, I can probably answer that question.
Who would you say, or go ahead?
Read a little bit about your interest in photography, the Rome trip.
Yeah.
Is that something you've had for a long time? Is that a new thing? Or?
It's about 2 years old now. I'm all right.
Getting better?
Getting better. I think I'm all right, though. It's just something that I do to keep my mind off of things, and it's pretty fun. People probably don't think it's fun, but it is, when you're out just taking pictures, catching certain moments.
A lot of fun.
See, I don't got that one.
You don't have that one like for football.
Yeah.
You get tips from David Turnley on that?
Of course, when I took his class, he gave me a lot of tips.
Okay.
I still ask him because he works for the team,
right.
So I still ask him some questions here and there.
What was your favorite part of the Rome trip?
I got two. The Coliseum, and I'm not gonna lie, the gelato there is like ridiculously good. I probably had it like every day, just moving around there. So.
Who would you say are some of the most vocal leaders on the team this year?
We got a lot of guys that love to talk. So pretty much most of the young guys are very vocal, and I'm trying to become more vocal, but sometimes you don't have to be as vocal to be a leader. So I feel like we do have a lot of leaders on our team, vocal examples in other ways as well, but I really can't name certain people
as a linebacker, is it as fun to play for Don Brown as it looks like it is on the outside?
Oh, of course, because you just go out there and play. Like if you know what you're doing, you just go out there and play, and he's going to be aggressive, and then so you can be aggressive as well. So it was really fun. I love playing for him, and he's a great guy off the field as well.
Does he ever bring it down a notch, like ever?
Oh, of course. If you go into his office and sit with him and talk, he'll talk to you, and he won't bring up football or anything. And he's a great guy, and I can talk to him about anything.
What's it like playing for Coach Harbaugh?
Coach Harbaugh is a great coach. He knows what he's talking about, and he loves his players. He'll do anything for us. He's a great person overall.
What were your first impressions of him when he took over a couple years ago?
When he first got there, it was just, I guess, the adjusting process. You just had to get used to him a little bit, his ways. He's not going to change his ways, so maybe just adjusting to how he is.
What have your impressions been of Josh UK as a guy that we haven't really gotten to see, being that he had an injury and everything last year?
He's going to be really good. He's really fast. He's probably one of our fastest players we have on our team. And he works hard. He gives everything he has every play in practice. And I expect big things from him.
Are we getting to see, are you seeing more Philly cuts in the linebackers room since he seems to be working out more at Piper? And if so, what have you seen from him?
He does a little bit of both, linebacker and safety. So, and I think he's going to be one of the best players in the nation this year and in the future, because he's the athlete. He can play linebacker, he can play safety, and if he wanted to, he could probably play corner if he wanted to. He's just a freak athlete, and he's really good.
Carl was talking about earlier that Luigi Verlaine might be a guy that you could actually come in and play outside linebacker. Have you played with him at all in this offseason?
Most of the new freshmen we haven't really seen a lot, because they're getting used to college and everything. So once camp starts, we'll probably see a lot more of them. So can't really answer that question.
Mike, through your 5 years, have you noticed? I mean, and just how you describe Kalik being able to play all several different positions. Have you noticed kind of a difference in the way that Michigan recruits linebackers as far as athleticism-wise? Is it any different than when you got there?
I don't think so. I just feel like since we're, at one point we weren't as good as we are now or before, and you get those people that want to be at Michigan. So, I guess it's about the same, really. Just different type of athletes. Somebody might be better at something than somebody else, or somebody might do it a different way, but they're doing the same thing. But about the same.
What are your thoughts on being an overwhelming underdog?